Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Desktop Samurai, and welcome to my first ever, and hopefully not my last, Let's Play. Now, for those of you who are familiar with it, you will probably recognize this copyright screen as that of Pokémon Red and Blue, and indeed Yellow, I think. I'm not sure. The dates were probably different, weren't they? Yeah, this is going to be a bit of a nostalgia trip for me, and presumably for you, if you're here. I would imagine you're here because you have fond memories of Pokemon Red and Blue. If you don't, then either I have no idea why you're here, or you are a student of video game history, in which case, good for you. You're very welcome. But yeah, this is not actually going to be straight up Red and Blue because, let's be honest, there are 1,000,001 at least Let's Plays of Pokemon Red and Blue on YouTube, and yeah, and 1,000,001 is probably an understatement rather than an exaggeration. So the need for something different is definitely there, and this is going to be randomized. Thank you to all the people who developed the Universal Pokemon Randomizer. It's a great tool. You should check it out. It leads to some very funny moments at times. Also some frustrating ones, but hey, that's all part of the game when you're completely messing up a perfectly good game and its intricate balance. Well, not so intricate in Generation 1, but yeah, literally a bit better. So I don't think there's any much more preamble that I need to do. In case you're worried, don't worry. I do own a copy of Pokemon Red and a Game Boy, including copies of pretty much not every Pokemon game. I didn't buy both, didn't buy Silver and Gold, but I bought one of each generation, and usually the revamped additional one, Crystal, Emeralds. I'm looking at you. Up until, well, now, really. I haven't bought Omega Sapphire or it's the other way around, isn't it? Alpha Sapphire, Omega Ruby. Sorry. Slap on wrist. Very bad. Got it wrong. Yeah, I haven't bought those. To be honest, I never actually completed Ruby and Sapphire. Don't ask me why. I don't know. I lost interest for some reason. But I do love Pokemon, and I have contributed sufficiently, I think. So don't worry. But yeah, obviously I'm going to be playing this on an emulator because I've randomized it and because it's a lot easier to record on an emulator. Anyway, that is quite enough ado. Let's have none further of it and begin. Game Freak. They made the game, just so you know. Welcome to the most famous Pokemon matchup in Pokemon history. Also probably one of the most unfair. I'm not entirely sure what Rhyhorn's gonna do. Rhyhorn? Gosh, no, Nidorino. Crumbs. I'm terribly sorry. Let's hope there are no more mistakes. Another slap on wrist. Oof, look at that Nidoran. I always thought it looked like it had a hole in its head. These sprites are just mixtures of hilarious and painful. Having said that, some of them are not terrible. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Weedle here. But oh my gosh, yes, perfect example. Look at Ponyta. That is not good. Pidgeotto looked different, but it's okay. And Clefairy actually looks like herself. That's not bad going. Abra's a bit squat. It's a bit flat looking. Charmander has very lazily done feet and hands. Oh, and there's very little right with Squirtle, to be fair. Onyx is okay, isn't he? He's okay, he'll do. And that's actually a pretty damn good sprite for Scyther. I like that one. How can you put that Ponyta and that Scyther in the same game? Who was editing this? Who was auditing what the quality of the sprites was? There must have been more than one spriter. One of them was, one or two of them were pretty good, but there was certainly one or two that were, well, just really bad, or they had not at all decided what they actually wanted the Pokemon to look like yet. Which I suppose is also possible. Early days, early days. Anyway, let's get going. Oh, while we're here, note the fact that large sprites go through Red's hat. He's got a window in his hat like a Teletubby, but on his head, that big Pokemon can be seen briefly passing through. Oh dear, Bulbasaur, yeah. Come on, give us another big one. Oh, and Pikachu, yeah. That's an interesting thing, actually. As many of you will probably know, Red and Blue were not the first Pokemon games. In Japan, they had Pokemon Green first, which had, in general, even worse spriting work. But some of them were better, and Pikachu was one of them. Pikachu looks quite acceptable in Green, but it looks a bit strange in Red and Blue. Riddle me that one. Red and Blue were, of course, the revamps that were... Do you see his wings go through the hat there? Red and Blue were revamps that were released in Japan, but are also the first ones, obviously, released abroad. Anyway, we're going to come back to Red's hat window later, but oh, that's a brilliant sprite Magikarp. Someone's on the ball there. Anyway, let's get going. New game. Oh, how exciting is this screen. Actually, it could be a terrible, terrible screen if you had lost your save due to a save corruption when... Do you ever have the batteries run out? Do you even remember having to put batteries in games consoles? Oh, the battery's running out on your Game Boy in the middle of saving. Nightmare. And the dread of receiving this screen when you turned it back on. If you'd lost all of your beloved Pokémon. Okay, options. We want fast on shift. Good. Cancel, but that does in fact apply your options. Couldn't we just have had OK? Anyway, sorry. New game. Da-dum, da-dum. Hello there. Welcome to the world of Pokémon. My name is Oak. People call me the Pokémon PROF, because they don't have room to spell the whole word Professor. Oh, hello, Mr. Mime. I was not expecting you. I was expecting a Nidorino. Wow, this world is inhabited by creatures called Pokémon. Oh, that's cool. Sorry, I probably spoke over that. It had the Mr. Mime's cry as well. They did a good job with that randomizer, didn't they? This world is inhabited by creatures called Pokémon. Imagine, I don't think I'd want Pokémon if this was the example. Mr. Mime, he's pretty freaky. Yeah, actually I'll pass, thanks. I don't think I do want to play Pokémon. I don't want to catch them all if they look like that. They creep me out. Yeah. Sorry, Mr. Mime, you're never going to be the poster child for the franchise. For some people, Pokémon are pets. Others use them for fights. Or in the case of Mr. Mime, personal live-in house cleaners. Myself, I study Pokémon as a profession. What a career that would be. Oh well. Look, Red has changed. His hat no longer has a window in it. It has instead an eye that stares into your soul. And if you sort of just look at his hat, if you put your thumb over his face, I don't know, it's like a Cyclops duck. That just occurred to me just now. That's off script. There's no script, obviously. First, what is your name? What shall we call him? Well, you know, if I had a community of regular viewers, haha, like that's ever going to happen, I would ask you, and you would name him, and he would be called Cyclops Duck. But I don't, so I have to name him in your stead, and because his name is Red, I'm going to call him Red. That's his name, I'm sorry. And Red is awesome, everybody loves Red. Red was the best protagonist ever in Pokémon. Right, so your name is Red. Honestly, like, everything is shouted in these first generation games. Everything has an exclamation mark. It's ridiculous. Just as you're going through this Let's Play, take mental notice of how much is shouted at this poor guy Red. No wonder he's mute. Terrified. Hello, Gary. It's not Gary. Oh, you have a nipple that stares into the soul as well. This is my grandson. He's been your rival since you were a baby. What's his name? Seriously, who forgets the name of their own grandson? That's pretty upsetting. Probably one of the worst excuses for player input in video game history right there. This is the American release, so of course we have the option to call him Gary. But we're going to call him Blue. I think in Japanese he would have been green. And Blue, if anything, was going to be the female player character, which they didn't actually implement, more's the pity. You can see her, if you, as I did, if you had the original game in its box with the it was called the trainer manual actually, it wasn't the game manual, it was faux leather cover thing that pretended to be like a trainer's manual. I thought that was so cool when I was a kid. I made myself a Pokemon license. I was that obsessed. But moving swiftly on from that, tragic admission, if you look at the concept art in that, which is easily available on Google these days, you'll see the female player character, and she would have been Blue, and she did actually sort of make it into the world in some sense. She's Blue appears in the Pokemon manga, the Pokemon Adventures manga, yeah, just a little tidbit for you there. And we're going to call him Blue to counterpose Red. That's right, I remember now. All shouted, remember, his name is Blue! Red! What? Your very own Pokemon legend is about to unfold! Oh! A world of dreams and adventures with Pokemon awaits, let's go! Right, okay. Random shrinking. Seriously, the shrinking thing. Pretty freaky. There's a bit of product placement here. Red is playing the SNES. Because when these came out, the SNES was the in thing. Okay, great, it's time to go. Fascinating fact, probably not that fascinating, but a fact. In the Fire Red and Leaf Green remix, they changed the SNES to an S. No idea why. Why the newer remakes, ostensibly developed to be played by people who had not played the first generation games, would include a reference to a console that was almost certainly obsolete before they were born. Riddle me that one. We're going to get the potion from the PC. If you don't know there's a potion in the PC, you suck. Sorry. I don't mean to insult my viewers, but you should know that by now. Here's a random thing. I mean, there's a movie on TV. 4 boys are walking on railroad tracks. No exclamation marks here, actually. I better go too. Yes, I too want to walk on railroad tracks. I want to be hit by a train. I like trains. Children, do not walk on railroad tracks. Even if there is 4 of you, you will still not succeed in stopping the train. Crammed full of Pokemon books! Exclamation mark. And now meet the world's worst mother, known as Mom. Mom, right. All boys leave home someday. It said so on TV. Yes. Do whatever it said on TV to your children. They will be fine. Best way to get parenting advice. Let them walk on railroad tracks. That's what she's going to be doing next. Prof Og, next door, is looking for you. They don't actually have the word professor in the Pokemon world, it's just Prof. She's actually remarkably calm. She's one of the very few people in the whole world that don't shout at you. Including signs that just lack punctuation completely, or apart from the apostrophe on the S, but good, proper apostrophe use, appreciated. I'm raising Pokemon too, shouting! When they get strong, they can protect me! This is an interesting point. Also, while you're being aware of punctuation, keep an eye out for just the very different tone that these games take to Pokemon. I think it, mainly starting with the anime and then subsequent games, they added this whole emphasis on being friends and partners and respecting your Pokemon, and that's all very good, and probably a response to the fact that this game was really quite bad for just painting them as tools, to fight and protect me and build my house. We'll see a Machop later that does that. And oh yeah, and even the bad guys. Sorry, even the good guys. The bad guys have whips. The Team Rocket trainers have whips, but even cool trainers and I think there's another. Is it Tamer? I think they exist as well. Have whips. Yeah, that's not okay. But it's in here. Oh, let's read the town sign. Pallet Town, shades of your journey await. How nostalgic is this music? We interrupt this video to tell you something more interesting than I was saying at the time. This little chappy here, quite fat, isn't he, actually? Especially from the side. Oh, and gosh, his head is huge. Anyway, he appears apparently in every game to tell you this, that technology is incredible and all about how you can store and recall Pokemon and items in the PC. Go you, sir, every single game. I hadn't noticed that. I can't believe that. Also, apparently, he loses quite a lot of weight as the series goes on. So well done for your success at Weight Watchers, Mr. Technology Guy. Anyway, I am gonna hand you back to old me. I study Pokemon as Professor Oaks. Oh, sorry. There's no word Professor. As Prof.Oaks. Aid, do you know what? I have managed to live my whole life, since childhood, and never actually worked out the pronunciation of that last word there. I was so confused as a kid. I didn't know what an aid with an E was. Obviously it's somebody who helps him, I get that. But yeah, never encountered that word before or since. I think this is the only context that I know it from. I think they just became a thing in their own right to me. Just Professor Oak has AIDS. No! no, sorry. Don't worry, children. Professor Oak does not have AIDS. He is fine. He is going to be fine. Don't worry. Hello, flicky-haired friend. Yo, Red! Gramps isn't around! Did people really talk like that in the mid to late 90s? I know they didn't. They didn't in the UK. We've never spoken like that. But if you're watching and you're from America, or yeah, this was an American translation. Did people speak like that for real? Oh, here's an interesting point as well. I'm saying these things are interesting. If you don't want these anecdotes and you just want me to get on, comment and tell me. But you know, I've picked up on a few things in my time playing this game over and over again that I think are worth commenting on. Yeah, the Pokédex is here. If you didn't know that's what they are, those are going to be the Pokédexes. Kind of just look like books, and that sprite is used to represent books elsewhere in the game. And when you talk to it, it says it's encyclopedia-like, as in like an encyclopedia, big heavy book. But the pages are blank. It has pages, multiple pages. Isn't that interesting? And then Professor Oak later says, sorry, Prof. Oak shouts later that that it automatically records data on all of the Pokemon that you see. It's a high-tech encyclopedia, I believe, are his exact words. Really interesting. So it's like a book with blank pages that somehow automatically updates when you see a Pokemon. Very different to the Dexter, the PDA type Pokédex that we see in the anime and in later games. Then again, Dexter, as seen in the anime, definitely borrows inspiration from the layout of the few fuzzy dots that we can see on that sprite there. So who knows? But yeah, it definitely sounds more like a book. And then this email is fun. There's an email message here. ... Calling all Pokemon trainers, the elite trainers of Pokemon League, not the Pokemon League, just Pokemon League, are ready to take on all comers. Bring your best Pokemon and see how you rate as a trainer. Pokemon League HQ Indigo Plateau. P.S. Prof. Oak, please visit us. So this is like a circular to every Pokemon trainer in existence, apparently. And they just tag on a personal message to Professor Oak at the end there. as just what? They wouldn't do that unless they don't actually have an email address for Professor Oak. They just send it to everybody and hope that somehow, somewhere, someone will pass on the message to him. Professor Oak, if you're reading this, please give us your email. Maybe Professor Oak isn't a fan email. Maybe no, because he's got it on his computer. I'm going to stop talking, and we are going to get moving with the plot. Excuse me, has anybody seen the plot? I am looking for the plot. I have lost it. Aha! Plot! Oh, hey, wait, don't go out. Do you notice how he was pointing the wrong direction when he first appeared on the screen there? That's an interesting little feature of the programming in these very early Pokemon games, is that when the scene, or when first loaded in, the sprites are always pointing down. The sprites of people, anyway. I have no idea why, but I know that people who are into the whole exploiting of the many, many varied and wonderful glitches in this terribly programmed piece of game, that yeah, they can do a lot with that anyway. Make some interesting things happen. But this is not a glitch run through. There are plenty of those. Go look at them. They are both terrifying and hilarious at the same time. It is unsafe. Wild Pokemon live in tall grass. You need your own Pokemon for protection. He didn't shout! He didn't shout! Look at that full stop. I know! Here, come with me. He's back to it again. Check that hairdo. Wouldn't it be amazing if somebody's hair actually did that? It's actually, as we'll see in a minute, it's a hereditary trait that he's shared with his poor grandson. The flicking hair. Gramps, I'm fed up with waiting. Who? Oh yes, you're my grandson. I forgot. Again. Hey Red, there are 3 Pokemon here. Haha, why is that funny? They are inside the Pokeballs. When I was young, I was a serious Pokemon trainer. In my old age, I only have 3... What did you do to them all? In my old age, I lost them. I have Alzheimer's. I can't remember where I put them. Yeah, I better take them from you before you just lose them down the back of the sofa. Hey, Gramps, what about me? Be patient, Glue. You can have one too. It rhymes. Wouldn't have that if we'd named him anything else. Unless we'd named him Pooh. Oh, yeah! That's a shame. I forgot, there was a whole thing. Did you have that as a kid? It was like an ongoing competition in school to see who had named the rival the funniest thing. It's just great having Professor Oak shout Pooh. That was funny when you're a kid. It's still funny now. There's just so much repression in me as a British adult male that is married that I can no longer laugh at the word Pooh being shouted. But I'd like to. I would. Okay, who are we gonna have? Oh, Pidgey. Now, we have our Pokédex entry here, but because this is a randomized playthrough, we have absolutely no idea what Pidgey's stats are going to be like. Or indeed what moves it's going to learn. That's slightly less important, because it'll learn relevant moves to its typing. That's the way I've set it up. So eventually it'll learn some decent moves. I don't know when, but it will. But yeah, we need to know what its stats are going to be, to know if it's going to be usable at all, or just completely broken. So this is going to be our little Pokédex. Hello, Pokédex. And we're going to Control F, Pidgey. So it has 43 HP, 32 attack, 26 defense, 38 speed, and 56 special. Remember, in first generation, the special stat was just one stat rather than special defense and special attack, which made some particular Pokemon, looking at you, Alakazam, really, really broken. But anyway, so actually that's better at special attack and defense than physical, which for a flying normal type, which are both physical types in Generation 1 exclusively, that's not ideal. Maybe not Pidgey, then. Sorry, Pidge. Probably not. No. What are our other options? Geodude! Oh, Geodude's a good Pokemon. Found in mountains and fields and mountains, mistaking them for boulders. People often step or trip on them. Okay, so what have you got going for you? Find Geodude. 41 HP, 47 attack, 35 defense. So it's no longer a physical tank then. Look at that speed stat, 65 and 56 in special. Again, not an ideal layout. But I don't know, in the early game, rock type going to be pretty useful. All that not very effective. Don't have to keep him long term. I'm sure there'll be better options later on. Okay, here's an option. Let's for the sake of completeness check out the third possibility. Weedle. I don't even need to look. It's gonna be poor. It's a Weedle. It's got 200 base stats or something like that. No, thank you. Oh, how can I make sure that Gary takes... Sorry, Gary? He's not called Gary, he's called Blue. That's a different universe entirely. How would I know that? I'm trying to think. This one's definitely Bulbasaur, so that would make him pick Charmander, which is I think this one, and Squirtle was in the middle. So if I wanted... No, that's a different generation thing. I'm pretty sure this one's Squirtle. That would be Charmander. I think they were still in Pokédex order in first gen. So Charmander would make him pick Squirtle, which would be Weedle. Yes! I'm definitely taking Geodude. Hahaha, Gary. I've also said it that the rival has to take their starter the whole way through, so his strongest, in inverted commas, Pokemon is going to be a Beedrill. Ha ha ha. Actually, as I say, I've not actually looked at the stats, so Beedrill could be really powerful. It would have to be really, like, hyper-specialized, though. Find what? Weedle. Bug Poison, 24 HP, 39 attack and defense. That's actually not bad. It's probably going to be quite... Still just got terrible stats. I'm not too worried about that. Yeah, but you never know. Don't worry. There could still be plenty of challenge in the other Pokemon that he has on hand later on. So, Blue received a Weedle. My Pokemon looks a lot stronger. You possibly need an eye test? Right, let's do this. Pokemon battle. Wait, Red, let's check out our Pokemon. Come on, I'll take you on. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Watch his flicky hair. I don't think the music ever surpassed this. Wow, I forgot how bad the back sprites were for some of them. I mean, what is that? What is that? What have I just sent out? It looks like a blancmange. One move. But Body Slam, that's not bad. We'll take Body Slam. How about you, Weedle? Oh, what an appropriate move. Nothing too outlandish going on just yet then. Although Body Slam is a bit overpowered for this stage in the game. Easy! Yay! We managed to beat a Weedle. What? Oh wow, that's real shouting. What? Unbelievable. See, in a game where everything is exclamation marks, you have to use capitals to shout. Yes, you did pick the wrong Pokemon. Okay, I'll make my Pokemon fight. Toughen it up. See, it's all just about fighting. Red! Gramps! Smell you later! Check flicky hair. Runs in the family. Okay, good. Well, I think I'm gonna save. Yes. And we're gonna leave it there for today, because I want to go and get some lunch. But that has been the first episode of our Let's Play of a randomized not Fire Red, Ordinary Red. And yeah, if you liked it, please hit the like button. If you want to see more of this, you probably need help, but if you want to subscribe, that'd be great to help me get my channel off the ground. I am a married man. I have a job and a rabbit to look after, but I get Fridays and Wednesdays off, so I will be doing more Pokemon every Friday, and on Wednesdays I am actually going to be doing something different, possibly on a different channel, not quite decided yet, but I'm writing a book called Thaumaturgy. I'm enjoying it, and I'm going to be releasing it on YouTube as like an audiobook, so if you're interested, do please check that out. That would be great, because I'm putting quite a lot of effort into that. But anyway, thank you for watching, and see you next Friday. Bye!